Hello, and thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Aaron Smith. Coming up, Barclays CEO quits, a TORAH scroll is desecrated at George Washington University, PETA calls for a change in the MLB, and a look at your week's weather. All this and more as PS News starts right now. Here's what's happening around the world. Tesla founder and CEO Elon Musk says he's willing to donate $6 billion to end world hunger. He made the offer in response to a claim by David Beasley, the director of the United Nations World Food Program. Beasley called billionaires across the globe to donate, saying $6 billion would help 42 million people around the world suffering from famine. But in a series of tweets, Musk said Beasley must prove in detail how the money would be spent to solve the problem. Beasley later said $6 billion would actually not end world hunger, but would, quote, prevent geopolitical instability, mass migration, save 42 million people on the brink of starvation, end quote. Beasley also invited Musk to sit down with him to look at the numbers and work out a plan to solve the famine crisis. As of Monday, Musk has a net worth of $311 billion, making him the richest man in the world. The CEO of BARCLAYS is stepping down after an investigation into his relationship with the late disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. American Jes Staley has headed the British bank since 2015. British regulators recently concluded an investigation into his involvement with the accused pedophile. The two had a long-term relationship while Staley worked at J.P. Morgan in New York for more than 30 years. Officials at Barclays claim its investigation does not indicate Staley was aware of Epstein's alleged crimes. They say he is stepping down because he plans to contest the probe's conclusions. Staley denies having any contact with Epstein since becoming CEO. He says the relationship was based on Epstein's dealings with J.P. Morgan when Staley headed its investment banking division. At least one person died and 17 people are hospitalized after an explosion at the clandestine gas pipeline in Puebla, Mexico. Puebla's health secretary said in a press conference that 8 of them are in critical condition, and the Secretary of Interior said that 45 homes have serious structural damage. The prosecutor's office started an investigation into the events that caused the explosion. And now, let's take a look at this week's weather.
Thank you, Aaron. I am PS News meteorologist Harrison Gereau. Let's take a look at your North Country weather. The highs around the area tomorrow over in Owl's Head will be 43. Down in Vermontville, even colder, with highs barely reaching the 40s. Moving over now to Dannemora, we see highs again in the low 40s. But down in Austable Forks, we have what we call the North Country summer, which is 48 degrees. Moving up to Plattsburgh, we'll see 48 again. And over on the Vermont side of things, we'll have highs in the high 40s in both St. Albans and Williston. Now let's take a quick look at your 5-day forecast. Lots of rain in the forecast over the next few days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with highs ranging from the mid to high 40s. On Friday, we'll have highs in the mid 40s, but the rain will stop, leaving the clouds alone with the sun in the sky. On Saturday, we'll get highs all the way up in the 50s, which honestly, it's pretty nice and warm here in the North Country. That's all for our weather outlook. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we will take a look at the news around the nation.
Fitty Sports has been serving its communities, local high schools, youth commissions, clubs, and other businesses since 1984. We specialize in trophies, screen printing, sporting goods, embroidery, office apparel, uniforms, hats, t-shirts, and more. Regardless of the size of your project, you will have the full participation and dedication of our design team. No job is too big or too small, keeping you involved every step of the way so that your vision is our design. Stop into Finney Sports or call us to see what we can do for you.
Welcome back. Here's tonight's national news. The federal government is one step closer to requiring many employers to vaccinate employees or test them weekly for COVID-19. The rule applies to private companies that employ 100 or more workers. The Office of Management and Budget completed its review of the emergency rule Monday, and it will be published in the Federal Register within days. The Labor Department's regulation also requires employers to give workers paid time off to get vaccines and to recover from any side effects. Any workers who opt out for testing instead of vaccination must wear face coverings at work. The new standards are defined as minimum, meaning companies are allowed to go further by requiring vaccines and not allowing weekly testing as an alternative. Employers that fail to comply can be fined up to nearly $14,000 per violation. An act of anti-Semitism. Those were the words used to describe this. A TORAH scroll desecrated at Tau Kappa Epsilon at George Washington University. The blue powder you see there is laundry detergent. The fraternity's president told police it happened when someone broke in and vandalized the house over the weekend. He said there was a Bible in the room too, but only the Torah was vandalized, which is why he believes it was a hate crime. Now, D.C. police are investigating, and the fraternity asked the Anti-Defamation League to look into the incident as well. A third giraffe has died at the Dallas Zoo in less than a month. The zoo says Jesse, a 14-year-old male giraffe, died on October 29th. He fell ill 2 days prior to his death. A blood test showed Jesse had, quote, abnormal liver enzymes. His death could be linked to the death of another giraffe, 19-year-old Augie, who passed on October 22nd. Augie's death was first reported as age-related health issues that led to liver failure. The zoo is investigating. The third giraffe that passed was the 3-month-old calf. She said she had to be euthanized last month after getting injured while running with adult giraffes in their habitat. You might not have a lot of room on a plane, but Delta Airlines believe it's enough to get some stretching in mid-flight. Peloton is teaming up with the airline to offer 5 stretching and meditation classes to flyers. They range from 5 to 20 minutes and are meant to help passengers relax, stretch, or fall asleep on board. Peloton is expecting to refresh the classes every few months. They're only available on planes with seatback seats. Delta approached the fitness company for a collaboration. No financial details have been disclosed. When we come back, we'll have a quick look at your sports. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is John Lynch. I'm the president of the school's animation club. While other colleges' animation clubs strive to only show just straight anime, our club tries to be something different, as we show a variety of things such as Western animation, Eastern animation, internet animation, films, and so much more. If you want to meet people who have like-minded taste in animation, then feel free to come on down to our club.
Welcome to PS Sports. I'm Kasandra Webb. The broadcaster known to millions of Boston Red Sox fans as Rem Dog has lost his long battle with cancer. REMY, the beloved former Major League Baseball infielder turned color analyst, died Saturday night after a 13-year battle with lung cancer. Remy spent more than 40 years with the Red Sox organization as a player, coach, and broadcaster. He had been the key baseball analyst on the New England Sports Network since 1988. The Red Sox Hall of Famer is survived by wife Phoebe, his sons, a daughter, and 2 grandchildren. Remy was 68 years old. Boston Celtics center Enes Kanter is stepping up his criticism of China's human rights abuses. Kanter posted pictures of a customized pair of shoes with slogans calling for the upcoming 2022 Olympics to be moved out of China on Twitter Saturday. Since last week, the 29-year-old NBA star has been attacking the Chinese government on social media over what he's calling slave labor camps for Uyghur Muslims. China has denied allegations of human rights abuses and has pushed back against Kanter canceling the broadcast of Boston Celtics games there this season. The Beijing Winter Olympic Games are scheduled to start on February 4th. Certain terminology has been challenged over the last year, and now PETA is pointing out a concern within the sport of baseball. As the World Series continues on, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals is calling on Major League Baseball to retire the term bullpen. It says there's a connection to the mistreatment of cows and bulls. The animal rights organization released a statement that said the term, which indicates where relief pitchers warm up, references the holding area where terrified bulls are kept before slaughter, and it should be removed from the baseball language. The alternative suggested was arm barn, which it thinks is more modern and animal-friendly. PETA even changed its name on Twitter to arm barn. The term bullpen has been associated with baseball for at least a century. The World Series resumed Friday for Game 3 in Atlanta. So far, the Braves are up 3-2 against the Astros in the best-of-7 series. That's all for tonight's sports. Let's throw it back to the desk with Aaron.
It looks like that's all the time we have for tonight. Be sure to check out the Plattsburgh State TV YouTube to watch all of our programming, including this broadcast. You can catch the second episode of The High Reel, produced by yours truly and Jeff Koff, tonight at 7:30 on our YouTube page. Now, whether you're watching from home or on the go, you can find PS News on social media at PS Newsroom and all our shows at Plattsburgh State TV. Have a good night, Plattsburgh.